Now, let's talk about the Council of State elections. They're being held in selected places in all 16 regions. We'll get our correspondent to find out what's been happening in the north. There are very interesting candidates in the north. But Rafiq Salam is in Wa and he joins via Zoom. Rafiq, bring us up to speed. First of all, tell us about some of the members contesting in this particular election.
Means that
was opened for people to file. We have 7 elections, and so out of these 7, 2 of them are withdrew. Leaving Professor Dana Debaga, who is a sociologist and lecturer at the SB Dombo University of Development and Integrated Studies. The next person is Pascal Dere, who happens to be a former DC for the Laura District. Bonkona Emmanuel Muyuri is also part of it, and then also we have one Muasin Abubakar Sadiq, and so 5 people are contesting the elections, and so here we're having 22 delegates who are supposed to cast the ballots, and out of the 22 delegates, 10 of them are MDCs, and then 7 are presiding members.
Okay, so how is voting progressing?
Voting started with the Laura MC Christian Bomunyamadu, who is having mobility challenges here, and so she couldn't go upstairs to do the voting, and then she was the first to cast the ballot, and the rest of the 21 are currently, as I speak to you now, they are now voting at the place there. But yesterday there was an injunction that was served at the Wa High Court. It's an interlocutory injunction. It was brought here. They come around the whole of Wa looking for the EC officers, and they couldn't. So I spoke to the regional director, Mr. Ali Osman Ademwan. He said that no injunction has been served on the election. And so this morning the bailiff came. He tried to give it to the officers. They refused, and they kept it on the bare floor right here. So they are just right in front of me here. But the election is currently ongoing.
Yeah, but Rafiq, who went to court for that injunction?
It's one assemblyman from the Jiropa municipality. His name is Dorokoten. He said that the composition of the electoral college, talking about 10 MDCs and also 7 presiding members, is not enough, and so they think that, it's not the best for them, and he wants the election to be injuncted.
Okay, so Rafiq, if I understand you correctly, you're saying that even though the injunction has been served, voting is continuing.
Hello?
Yes, Rafiq, I just wanted to understand. Injunction was served, but voting is continuing.
Yes, the Electoral Commission is claiming that they have not been served, but the bailiff brought the notice here. He was not able to get any of the EC officers here, and so finally he finally ended by throwing it on the floor in front of the forecourt of the EC here. But let me also inform you that voting so far has also been stalled again because the ballots were not stamped, and then because of that, they have to stop the voting. They started somewhere along the line, and they have to start the process. So they're going to start all over again.
Explain again, Rafiq. You said the box was what?
I am saying that the ballot papers were not stamped by the EC. And so, I told you that there are 22 members who are supposed to cast the ballot. They started with with principal chief executive for the Jiruba electoral area. She is having mobility challenges. She has an accident of a sort, and then she couldn't even move up the first floor where the voting is taking place at the EC here. And so, but they realized that when the voting started, they realized that the Electoral Commission stamp was not on the ballot papers, and so they have to it's all processes, and they have to go and bring the stamp for them to restart again.
Okay, so that hasn't been resolved yet.
It hasn't been resolved. The EC they are trying to bring their stamp for them to start the ballot papers so that they will start all over again. But I can also report to you that the SEBI military and police presence right here at the EC. I can count as many as 2-3 dozen policemen right here in front of the EC office here.
And how has the issue of the mobility challenge been resolved?
What they did was that she was the first person on the name on the profile is the electoral college, and so they brought the ballot box down to the first floor, to the ground floor, where she's sitting at the reception of the EC, and that was where she did the ballot, the casting of the vote.
And Rafik, have they commented on those other ballots already in the box that has no stamp? Have they decided what they will do with those?
So they have decided that to cancel them, and then after that, the EC will have to bring the stamp, the Electoral Commission's own stamp, for them to start to stamp on the alert ballot papers for them to start again.
Is that to say that all the 22 persons are still around to vote again?
They are still around. They are still around. They are at one place at the conference center, and none of them is gone out yet.
All right. Rafik, thank you very much for the updates, Rafik Enwa. Let's go to Tamale, where we have at least two persons that got a lot of people's interest because of the personalities that they are. We've got a former managing director of Stanbic Bank and a former member of parliament, Ras Mubarak Standing. Martina Bugri is there to give us an update. Martina, bring us up to speed. How has the exercise gone so far?
Now, the Northern region, 6 people were supposed to be contesting today, but only 4 are here. We are told that 2 have withdrawn their candidature. We have Abdul Rashid Mohammed, a 44-year-old teacher, and then we have Zong Lana, an accountant, Zong Lana Mahmoud Tahiru, an accountant, and Ras Mubarak, a journalist, and Andani Al-Hassan, the former Stanbic CEO. These people are the 4 contestants. But there are issues emanating already in the Tamale metropolis. And so we have heavy security presence, heavy security presence at the forecourt of the Regional Coordinating Council where the election is going to be held. And they have just started addressing the people. But before I come to the address, some of the assembly persons are raising concerns that some of them were camped the whole day and stopped others from having access to the other candidates having access to the delegates. Now, one other issue that has also come up is that they feel that they are being intimidated because they are allowing people perceived to be one party side to enter the premise for the election, whilst the other party is not allowed. And so they believe that the heavy military and police presence is there to intimidate them. I've been speaking to one of the assembly members, and that's the Tamale Metro assembly member, and he raised these concerns. Now, they have just been given time to speak. As we speak now, 3 of them are here present, and the CEO of Stanbic Bank is yet to arrive at the premise. But his agent also raised concerns of intimidation. He says that they had it difficult going through the security process to come into the hall where the forecourt where the election is supposed to be taking place.
Martina, how many people are expected to vote in this exercise today?
32 are expected to vote, 2 drawn from each of the 16 district assemblies in the metro in the region,
Okay. So can you remind us again of the reason for the heavy security and why voting hasn't started?
We are told that they have issues of people having their interest or parties having their interest. And so they suspect that party supporters might be trooping to the center where the election is supposed to take place. And so they have deployed heavy security presence to ensure that if you have nothing to do with the election, you are not allowed into the area or you are not allowed into the forecourt of the Regional Coordinating Council.
And do we know when they will begin voting?
The third person is addressing the delegates now, and right after the address, we will have the elections begin.
Okay, Martina Bugri, thank you very much. She's reporting from Tamale. Eliasu Tanko is in Northeast. Eliasu, we've got 4 persons who filed to contest this election. Do we still have all 4 still in the race?
Well, Mamavi, we have about 3 persons as of this morning, but the Electoral Commissioner just announced that one person has pulled out of the race, remaining 2. And as I speak to you now, voting has just ended. 12 delegates voted in this particular contest. A former DCE for Chereponi and also a member of parliament for that particular constituency has been elected the representative, the Council of State Representative for the Northeast region. The Electoral Commissioner has just declared him winner. The winner himself is here. Mama, do you have any question for him?
Yeah, I just want to ask Eliasu, before we engage him, help us appreciate, can we identify where he belongs in terms of the political parties?
Hello, Mama V.
Yeah, Eliasu, I just wanted to understand if he belongs to the MPP or the NDC, because, you know, in some places we have a mix.
Yes, exactly. And the Northeast Regional Party chairman that I met him shortly before the election began, he explicitly told me that this is an NPP and NDC affair. And so Mr. Azuma Umaru Sanda has been a long-standing member of the NPP. He has played a very significant role in the Chereponi constituency, especially when it came to the creation of this particular region, the Northeast region. The Northeast region, the Chereponi was part of the Northern region. And Mr. Umaru Sanda, as we understand, played a very key role in convincing the people of Chereponi to be part of the Northeast region.
Okay.
And so he has been a long-standing member of the MPP. Mr. Sampa is also a former executive of the NDC, as I understand.
Okay.
And he got 0 votes. Mr. Zuma got all the votes, 12 delegates, and he swept all the votes.
All right. Eliasu, maybe a word with him. If he can hear me, congratulations to you, sir. Many are wondering what exactly, help us appreciate your role on the council and what you'll be doing exactly.
Hello, Mama B. If you can ask the question again.
Okay, so first of all, I want to congratulate him. I hope that he heard that. But I want him to tell us...
Live on JoyNews.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
It looks like it's very difficult.
Okay. All right, Eliasu. I understand that. So we have to let you do that work and then file that report a bit later. Eliasu Tanko is our correspondent in the Northeast region, where voting has ended. Omar Sanda, a former Chereponi MP and DCE, has been elected the Northeast Regional Council of State member. So voting has ended in some places. In other places, voting is yet to begin. We will bring you a lot more later on.